Another office hours here at ProLine. Waiting for people to join in. Once they do, we'll see if anybody has any questions. Hey, David. Hey, David and Robert. Um, Let me know if you guys have any questions that you want us to discuss. Not currently anybody else here.
Hey there.
Hey,
I think that you are going to be explaining the dashboard a bit ahead in the Zoom call, but is there a way in which you can um, filter the projects by amount? For example, just to show the amounts that are below certain amount or above certain amount.
let's take a look at that. Just 1 second. Okay. Let's look at that. All right. So you're talking about in the new reporting.
Yes, yes, in the new one.
Okay. Is this a question that you received from somebody, or is this just a question that you're having?
Is one that I have just in case someone asks.
Okay. All right. So what you're asking is you want to filter by only projects of a certain dollar amount.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. What would be the what would be the purpose?
uh, just to see how many, for example, someone has want to know how much of those are like gutter cleaning or which one of those are like major projects, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. So the way that you would do that would be through selecting the service. So if you wanted to see, for example, only the projects that were gutters, you would select gutters and filter only by gutters, and then you'd be able to see only those projects. We don't have a way to filter based on the amount of the project. The only way that it would be possible to do that would be based off of, like, you could export all of from the cash flow page here under payments. It'll list out your payments and you could export those. and then filter inside of Excel outside of ProLine. We don't have a way inside to do that, but you can. But the best the more reliable way if you were looking to only see certain projects is to use the services based on what services are
Services.
selected.
Okay, nice. Yes, I think that when people see the dashboard, that might be like the first question that they might be having.
Yeah. So we offer a lot of filtering options here. Not on the overview page. The overview page is very simple, but for all the other more in-depth reports, we have filtering based on location, categories, types, services, tags, the lead source, the team member assigned to the project, zip codes, and then the start and end date of the projects. So there's a lot of ability to filter. Um, we we don't have plans of expanding this. Any plans to change the filtering that's here would have to go to the ideas page. And there'd need to be a reason, like a reason behind it.
Yes,
But
a reliable reason.
yeah, the right now the like if someone is looking for more ability to manipulate this data, then the approach would be to export the data outside of ProLine
Mhm.
using one of the download buttons here. So when you have lists here, um, so maybe go back and we'll see. Okay, so when you have lists here in ProLine, you can in the reporting area, you can export this, and then this will get sent to your email associated with your ProLine account, and then you can download those as CSVs that can then be manipulated inside of Excel, and you can do whatever you want with the data um, outside of ProLine. All right.
Nice.
Welcome, guys. I see Rolando just joined us. Joey just joined us. Please let me know if you have any questions. And um, oh, cancel. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Hey, Joey, did you have a question?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm a new backend developer for TJ Roofing, and I'm working with Calendly integration and some priceless integration with
Yep.
ProLine. I'm relatively new, so um, there's some pretty specific questions I have. One, so I watched your video on the Calendly integration with Zapier,
Yep.
and now you're not allowed to use an old event UUID. So I was wondering if there's a workaround or if there was an update to ProLine and Zapier's kind of communication line.
I think you might be looking at an older video. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it is a little bit older.
Okay, because we have a new article and guide because they took away the UID, but they
Yeah.
still have the U they just call it something else. So it's still there. That's just it looks a little different now. Um, so there's this guide right here. I'll send it in the chat, and this is
Okay,
what you're
thank
going to
you.
want to follow. And it's based on the current version that has like I just did this video like a few weeks ago. And this will walk you through everything that that you need. So it's gonna be the invitee URI is what you're gonna use instead of the UUID,
Okay.
and it'll serve the same purpose. Um,
All right, perfect. That actually is an easy solution. I can definitely figure that out.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and then my second question is, so I was looking at the ideas and roadmap, and I noticed that there was a ABC Supply API that's under review for you guys integrating that into ProLine. I was just wondering, like, where is that along the line, and is that going to be integrated anytime soon, or should I look at trying to integrate that for TJD in the meantime?
So we don't support any other way, we currently don't support any integrations with suppliers. We are working on a integration with a supplier, and it could be ABC Supply, it could be a different supplier, but the way the suppliers work is you have to choose one and then you have an exclusivity agreement with them. So whoever we end up going with, if it's not ABC, it may be ABC, but we don't fully control that. It's really up to the suppliers and which one's willing to work with us. Then it's unlikely that we would build an integration with any of the other suppliers for at least 2 years. So I don't know yet which supplier it's going to end up being. Whichever one we build with is the one that we're going to have to stick with. We won't be able to work with multiple suppliers. Now that doesn't mean that you can't use a different supplier and a different supplier's price list. You're welcome to use whatever supplier you want. It's just that, you know, once or twice a year, when those pricing increases come through, you're going to need to go into ProLine and adjust the pricing. And that, I mean, that's it. It's not like it takes that long. It's maybe about an hour of time. You can go in and go to quotes, go to your price list. You can actually download. You can either just update that pricing right here in the price list, or you can download the CSV, go through, change all the prices in the CSV document, and then re-import it into ProLine in bulk if you feel like that's faster. So that whole process, Rich, you're talking about 2 hours a year to make sure your price list is updated. So that will be eliminated with one supplier here, probably within the next 90 days. We're working on an integration with, we're negotiating with different suppliers to find one that's willing to work with us, but I can't guarantee that's going to be ABC Supply. And if it's not ABC Supply, then we won't be able to have an integration with them for probably 18 to 24 months.
Sounds good. So then is this downloaded CSV file, if I format it the same way and then use that upload or import CSV file, will that populate the price list correctly?
Yes, as long as the names match up. So it's
Okay.
based on the name. So if you upload a list and the names don't match, then it's going to create new price list items, which will break, you know, all of your quote templates and stuff. So you want to make sure that if you download that and you format it exactly the same and you leave all of the names of the items the same, then yeah, you can edit all the other information, re-import it, and it will just update everything in bulk.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you. Those are my only 2 questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we definitely want to have automatic price updates with as many suppliers as we can, but it's not entirely up to us, unfortunately. It's up to the suppliers and who's willing to work with us on it. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
we're working on that.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks for the questions. Okay. All right. Any other questions, guys? Hey, Rolando.
Hey, just a quick question. You just released the new dashboard for business reports.
Yep.
What is the next major feature that's going to be released soonish enough? And if there's anything you can share about it?
So we're still very much working on the dashboard and like the reporting dashboard. We're not happy yet with how this is performing. So there should be a pretty major update to this by end of week. Just to make it so it can handle higher quantities of projects, and it doesn't seem to do well with large volumes of data. So we're still working on that to make this perform the way we want it to. The other thing that we're about to release is going to be making external events visible on the calendar. So on your ProLine calendar, it'll make it so that you can see if you create an event outside of ProLine and don't go through ProLine, that will still show up in ProLine. It won't behave the same way. It won't have like won't have any kind of automated reminders or anything like that. So it won't be tied to any projects. So it's very limited. It's just for visibility. So there'll be the visibility of externally created projects inside of the calendar area, the events area.
That's huge. A lot of people have been asking for that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't entirely like it doesn't substantially change anything about ProLine. It's just a visibility thing. But yeah, people have been asking for it, so we went ahead and built it. We're still working out the kinks with that, so that's not quite ready yet, but we'll have that soon. The next features after that we're working on, there's a lot of smaller stuff that we're going to be tackling. Some of it's going to be additional pages here on the reporting dashboard. We are going to be working on booking pages. That would have been relevant to tell Joey. We are going to be working on booking pages to avoid the need for external like booking services like Calendly. So we're going to be working on that and hopefully have that done within about the next like 30 to 45 days. So that is something that's coming, but no, there won't be a lot of other really big features for a little while because we just have a lot of small stuff that we need to take care of. We're going to be doing some work on tasks, probably adding tasks within tasks, and then also supporting the ability to share file folders. So if you have folders inside of ProLine, being able to share these. So you'd have like a share button here, and then you can send a link to the folder externally, like send that in a text message or something. So, yeah, working on that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions, guys? Hey, David.
Hey, so I was just wondering, by any chance is it possible to have one single number associated to multiple accounts, or is this thing that it's just one number per profile?
Yep, it's always going to be one number per profile with ProLine. We are going to be adding like a company number system, but it won't be for automations. It won't be like fundamentally ProLine's built around the concept of having a unique phone number for every member of the team, and then that being used for automations. So that's always how ProLine will work fundamentally. But if there is some options depending on what people are trying to do. Like when you set up your automations, you can send the text message from a specific person every time instead of the person assigned to the project. So there's some control there if you want all of your automations to come from one phone number, but all those messages will go back to the one ProLine number account. And so only users that have access to that account and have the ability to switch into it here are going to be able to go and see any replies to those messages. There's some things that we're going to be doing to kind of help with managing numbers across multiple accounts like that. But like fundamentally we're rooted in the concept of having individual phone numbers for each member of the team, and so that's part of if that's not how someone wants to run their business, then ProLine isn't for them fundamentally. The reason that is such a core part of what we do is because of how effective it is for automations, because it allows there to be a personal connection through those automations between each individual sales rep and the people that they're selling. And we're going to be expanding that into production managers, and inside sales reps. So we'll have we're going to be expanding at some point, the assignees here. So right now we just have a single assignee field. We're going to be expanding that and adding other types of assignees as well. So it'll expand flexibility around that, but it's always based around there being a unique phone number for every member of the team.
Great, thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. Okay. Any other questions, or we want to just wrap up there? But yeah, just one other thought on that, David. So I think we do occasionally have customers that, or users of ProLine that will ask, hey, I want everything to go through one number. And the first, it is true that ProLine is fundamentally not set up for that, but it also is important to make sure to understand what they're trying to accomplish, because it may be that ProLine is still set up to try to do what they're trying to accomplish. Because sometimes the question is not, hey, I want all my stuff to go through one number. And the question is, hey, I just want these certain automations to always send from the same person. And as I was showing you, there is an easy solution for that. You can go into your automated campaigns and you can set up your text messages to come from a specific person every time. It doesn't have to come from a different person who was assigned to the project every time. So a lot of it comes down to understanding what the goal is, of what is the actual thing trying to be accomplished, because it doesn't if someone's trying to send everything through one number, that doesn't automatically mean ProLine's not the best fit. But if they're wanting all of their team to be calling and texting through one phone number, no matter who they are, and responding back as one number, that's not something ProLine's set up to do. So it's yeah, it's kind of, it takes it's sort of a case by case basis and trying and pinning down what it is that someone's actually trying to accomplish. Okay. Let's wrap up there.